Your favorite duo is live. AJ Swiatek, Joshua Melvin, York Sports Network, live from the South Gym. A little bit of a change of scenery here. You've been used to hearing us from the Dick Campbell. Now we are from the comfort of the York Duke South Gym. It will be a coveted matchup here as Lamont takes on Tinley Park. And a lot to be noted here in this one. Likely the biggest, though, is sophomore forward listed at 6'4", Nodris Indrusitis. Is a Division I future basketball player, as he currently has offers, including a Big Ten offer from Illinois. That's for Lamont. As for Tinley Park, the offensive power of this team has been what a lot of people have been pointing to. Of course, we are now at 3 o'clock, meaning this is a winner's bracket game. Neither of these teams have lost so far in the Tosh. The winner of this will move on. The loser will be booted down to the consolation ladder. Josh, we're in for a very good one, and I'm excited to be on call with you.
For sure we are. One interesting fact about this Tinley Park team is that they, in a neutral site game, played against noted high school football powerhouse St. John Bosco. An interesting choice between, a school that's just coming into the tournament 6-6, so not like a dominant team like Lombard West, to play a California team like that. And unfortunately, they did lose that game at the neutral site, as we are here just about ready to get started.
Both teams taking the floor. As previously mentioned, number 23, Nodris Indrusitis, a guy to watch for Lamont. He's out there already, of course. He'll be playing in Illinois.
If he decides to go there, he is still currently a sophomore, has an offer from Illinois, could get better and bigger as he's only he is not only 6'4", but he is 6'4". And speaking of big, that is Tony Webb, 6'7" senior for the Titans. Really impressive size. Him and Johnson, that's number currently on the bench, Armani Johnson, is really impressive for Tinley Park.
And as we continue, 3 from Lamont is good. That gets the scoring started. That shot off the hands of number 2, Rosas Castillo. Now going the other way are the Titans. This offense led by number 2, Keon Richardson. He gives off the pass, and he'll be fouled on the way up and go to the line to shoot 2. That's Malachi Haythorne.
We got another good pairing of brothers here. We got the Haythorne brothers and then the Castillo brothers here. The Haythorne currently play for Tinley Park, and then obviously on the other side we have they are both on the floor, actually, the Castillo brothers.
And if you want to talk about unconventional, here's an unconventional approach to offensive rebounding off of a free throw. 3 of the Tinley Park players currently stationed well within their own zone, not using any stamina. They're on their own side of the floor, ready to get back on defense. That is really headed by number 32, big man Tony Webb. I just stood next to him, and that man is a certified giant. He is huge, and he is a force to be reckoned with. Him paired with the Marion Johnson, number 24, really just 2 huge guys down there, really hard to deal with. And going the other way now is Lamont, all the way inside. That shot from Nodris Indrusitis is blocked, but it looks like there was a foul on the way up, and the Division I recruit will go to the line.
Marani Johnson there with the block. I don't know if that was a foul. I think he got all ball. I'm pretty sure that was clean. He also thought so, as he was not happy with the call.
And the first one from Indrusitis is good.
Interesting fact about Lemont High School is that they do not have a mascot. As it says in our packet, just Lemont, and then if you go to their Max Preps White website, it says the Lemont High School, Lemont High School.
There you go. So listed as Lemont, they currently and likely for quite a while now do not have a mascot, so they will be referred to as Lemont here against the Tinley Park Titans. And that great backdoor pass completes the points for Amarion Johnson.
Good look.
Gets them back up 5-3.
That's something you really love from your big, especially if you're really going to target them in the post like you are going to do with Webb because of his size and strength advantage over everyone there. as he is so massive, and then being able to control playmaking from the post, it is impressive, as that is what the 76ers are trying to do with another physical force.
Wow.
Beautiful three there.
And
Love
that's
the
the Division I recruit. He has a silky jumper, Nogis Indrositis, that is. Gets it to go and gets them up 8-3. Now it's the Titans trying to find an answer of their own. Nick Harrell with it, giving to Tony Webb. Webb gives back to Malachi Haythorne. This offense is in no rush to move. Haythorne, the mid-range jumper is off, and the rebound goes to Lamont.
Stays here with Tinley Park.
Correct. Looks like they
thought it went off Webb's foot there as he was going away, or sorry, Johnson's foot as he was walking away from the play.
But it did not, as it stays with Tinley Park. The Titans trying to capitalize. Oh, great indoor feed, but that is off the mark. Looks like he wasn't ready for that pass himself. And now the deep three, no. Rattles off the rim. Rebound goes with the Titans.
Good save there by Webb. Indrositis wanted that ball back as he was wide open on the cut. But number one, that is Castillo, that's Matt Castillo for Lemont, who decided to take the three. Unfortunately, did not make it, as is now 8-5.
That shot is good from the Titans. Both teams good on both the offensive and defensive ends, and in order to make it to day 3 in the Jack Tosh tournament, that's something you have to be able to do as the Division I recruit. Andrositis misses that one, but seriously, the Jack Tosh tournament is a tournament of competitors, and in order to make it to this stage, you have to be good on both sides of the ball, and both of these teams certainly bring the energy in terms of offensive and defensive pressure.
Another good game between two kind of unique teams, you know, with their unique colors and logos and whatnot, is Tinley Park with the Belgium colors of red, white, and black, or sorry, red, yellow, and black, and then Lamont.
That's that Model UN skills coming out from Joshua Melvin, calling them the Belgium colors, as you see the Lamont bench extremely excited. Tinley Park turns the ball over, and now it's Lamont who's rocking the navy and blue with the basketball. Lamont's shot, that one's good, turns around and knocks it in. Rosas Castillo now heating up. He's up to 6 points on the outing.
Looking for a good game here. Tinley Park has played many more games, as they are 7-6, which is 13 games in comparison to Lamont's 7 at 5-2. But looking to be a good game, as we said. This Titans team has had a really tough schedule because they've played a big out-of-state tournament, which has led to them playing the St. John Bosco from California.
And now it's Tony Webb who will go to the line. That's the big kid, number 32. Be interesting to see how he does from the charity stripe. But first, we have a mask timeout. The 90-second timeout is brought to you by the COVID-19 providers of this tournament. Both teams will get a chance to take a breather. We'll take a breather as well. With 3:26 to go in this first quarter, Lamont currently on top 11-5 over the Tinley Park Titans. AJ Switek, Joshua Melvin will be back after this break. And we are back following that mask timeout. It will be Tony Webb from the free throw line, big number 32. Yet again, Tinley Park opting to do a bit of an unconventional look here, having players deep in the backcourt.
Interesting fact about Lamont is that they're the only team that I've seen so far that has actually listed centers as number 21, 22, and 24 who just checked into the game. just 24 is checked in, are all listed as centers, as he has the post defense there.
Oh, great offensive effort. Be interesting to see who they credit that one to. Looks like they credit to number 24, Amarion Johnson, but Nick Harrell was in on the action too. Really good offensive rebounding effort, leads to points on the other end, and now following a mistake by Lamont, Tinley Park takes over again. Giving to Webb. Webb spinning. He wants to put it up himself, reminding me of Taco Fall with the size differential. But the foul will come on the floor, and it will come against
Webb. Looks like it was like a charge. The way they were pointing, I don't. Yeah, the coaches are confused of Tinley Park. I'm too. He had the ball up in the air. He was just going towards the net. No like fast break running into him at full speed. But, you know, they're reffing. They get to choose. Castillo with the three.
Wow, the Castillo brothers are heating up. Rosas Castillo up to 9 points on the day. His brother Matt also on the squad, rocking number 1. Rosas, though, the guy who's really on fire, as he could have thrown that one down, but opted to lay it in. That's number 5, Nick Harrell.
Once again, great job here from Webb in the post. That's really impressive, and also it helps with the height because he's able, and his massive hands are just able to palm the ball and flick it to anywhere on the court. Speaking of his hands, his right hands, his two middle fingers are taped to each other.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry to interrupt, but that ball movement was unreal. The no-look behind the back pass from Matt Castillo gets it to the corner, and who else but Division I recruit Nogis Indrasadis to put that one in. Tony Webb wanted the 3, opted otherwise. I'll tell you, Tony Webb just sounds like a big name. Sounds like a big name player.
Definitely, as he's going to get it in the post here, a little baby.
He is a big name player. Big baby Tony Webb knocks it down. Now it's Matt Castillo getting it from his brother, giving it back. Rosas gets it into the paint. Back to the paint, trying to go against Tony Webb, and you don't go against the big baby. That one's thrown away, and it goes out of bounds. Lamont lucky to maintain possession.
Got Tony Webb in the air. If he was able to keep on that ball,
oh, but the backdoor feed. That one is good from number 24, Patrick Gardner. Great inbound play from Matt Castillo.
Really liking what Rick Renas is able to do so far with Lamont, with the off-ball movement and the plays they had.
Big baby Tony Webb goes up and puts it in. Looks like that one may have been credited to Amarion Johnson, but they both were up there. This team is exciting, and they've got it back to 16-14. Both coaches doing a really good job. Both these teams showing why they're in the winner's bracket. I'll tell you, Josh, this is the highest level of basketball we've watched on camera this year.
Definitely. These two teams have been very good. Very interesting to see how the Tinley Park at 3.
Bang! They don't miss those. Nondra. Nunca. It's good.
Getting excited in here, AJ is.
Yes, I am. Lots of Division I recruits on both sides. Surely people taking notes, as they should be. That one's good from Nogis Indrasadis. Opts not to take the corner shot. Sloppy pass, fortunately for him, is bobbled by Rosas Castillo. Possession will stay with the Titans. Quick subs coming into the game for the first time for Lamont, number 14. Looks like he's not listed on the roster, unfortunately. And we are back, and that is good. Quick make from Indrasadis. First score since we actually had the live go down. We just got word that the live stream lost connection. Excuse us, we have a lot of technology, 2 different gyms currently running live streams. I hope you're able to excuse us there. But regardless, we're back to action, and Lamont is back to their 10-point lead.
Great job here by Lamont. Like I said, I love the coaching in this team, as their defense has been really effective despite the size disadvantage. And then
the big baby, number 32, Tony Webb, fights through the pressure and puts it in yet again, gets his own offensive board. But it doesn't matter, because this Lamont team doesn't miss from beyond the arc. Rosas Castillo getting some points of his own and getting them up to an 11-point lead.
This Lamont team really hitting everything from deep, doing great.
The Titans looking for an answer now. Reverse lay-in, no good, but he will go to the line to shoot two, and the man of power here is Nick Harrell.
Lamont foul number 23 Williams, leader cited his first team score at the line to shoot two, number 5, Nick Harrell.
Doesn't look like Tinley Park has pulled out any of their starters yet. Think they do have all of them. Wonder how that's going to affect them later in the game as they've stayed in for over a quarter now. No one's waiting for the substitutions during the free throws.
And surely interesting when a team like this opts to keep everyone in the lineup. More importantly, it's extremely interesting because of the fact not only that fatigue will kick in, but even more so that they're already trailing by 9 and they haven't even had to go to the depth yet. So this team's going to have to get creative, especially against a Lemont team with ball movement like this. Matt Castillo's a playmaker and Miles Beecham's a finisher. The lead goes to 17.
Neither has really, I mean, the only guy who came in off the bench for Lamont too looked like they're trying to match Tinley Park's energy with the starters, and that's Patrick Gardner, who came in for a little bit and then checked out at the end of the first quarter. By the way, there is no time, so if you're wondering the time, 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this second quarter, 29-28 lead.
And Malachi Haythorne just dribbles off his own foot there. Now the give to Matt Castillo. He's been running point, and boy, has he been doing a good job. He has facilitated all the points on this offensive end.
Charge here.
Looks like he's called for a use of his elbow, a push-off rather. Already his second foul in this one. Not a guy that can afford to get into foul trouble. They'll send him straight to the bench for number 3, Miles Haythorne.
That's Gavin Kelby coming in for Lamont. Lamont's ball here. Don't know what happened. We were looking at the rosters. Don't know what happened there, but apparently Lamont has the ball now. So we shall see what happens here if they're able to extend their lead.
Inside, Big Baby over the back.
Surprised that's not a foul.
Hey, he got all ball. When you have that kind of height, that kind of size, and those kind of hops, that's not something that should be humanly possible. But the Big Baby gets behind him and forces the turnover.
Looks like they're getting really physical with Idrisitis, trying to make sure he doesn't.
But that finish by Malachi Haythorne, older brother to Miles Haythorne, able to get it to go. Both teams have brotherly duos. We see the Haythorns up against the Castillos here. Castillo's definitely getting the better end of that matchup so far. Kelby gives it off. Oh my goodness. Jackson Crispin. This whole team could shoot. They're going to shoot the lights out of this South Gym, and the Custodians are going to have a real hard time when winter break is all said and done, because this team is shooting, and they're shooting well. Big Baby gives it up to the outside. Open look. No. Hustle on the rebound goes to Lamont.
Interesting choice here. I mean, I don't know if they'll change it here, as the coach has been yelling some changes, but they don't, as Tinley Park keeps going under these screens instead of trying to fight over. A little bit interesting choice there, as they've just been raining threes down.
Oh, wow, but that one is just clockwork for Joe Pender, following the defensive rebound from the Big Baby, Tony Webb. And Tony, if you're watching this, I hope you're appreciative of your newfound nickname, the Big Baby. I don't even know where that came from, but it's on our personalized roster, so there you go. Big Baby with the block, and the recovery goes to Lamont.
Great block there by Amarani Johnson. Good job there in the interior defense.
And that warrants a 90-second mask break at the 10-point deficit. Tinley Park Titans will maintain possession when we get back. But in the meantime, Lamont on top, 32-22. Lamont on top of the Tinley Park Titans. York Sports Network, your place for all York sports and IHSA sports as a total. We'll be back after this break.
as the buzzer sounds, moving us back to the game as it looks like same rosters here. Actually, here out comes the center, Patrick Gardner. My apologies. Patrick Gardner comes into the game.
This Lamont team really opting to use more of their depth than Tinley Park, and it's worked out so far as they're out to a 10-0 lead, and it looks like we stand corrected. They will have ball and possession coming out of the timeout.
Throws it inside, lay down pass. Great one there.
Number 12, Miles Beecham, could have gone up with that one, but he felt the presence of Tony Webb, couldn't go up, and ultimately forced to get it to his teammate Rosas Castillo, who puts on a bit of a show. Cardiac Kemba, if you will, gets it to go. He's up to 14. And that's a jump ball. What an effort from number 3, Gavin Kelby. Possession stays with the Titans, but now the arrow will face in the favor of Lamont.
I have not had the privilege to call Lamont yet, and wow, this team is shocking me. They have been amazing here, and this Tinley Park team hasn't necessarily been playing bad. They've just hit all their shots Lamont has, which lets them have a 12-point
Lamont has been unreal from the floor, and you know, this is maybe a little maybe a little bit early. I don't know what you want to say. This is definitely, of the teams I've watched in my time in the Tosh, is that is good from Joe Pender. This is the only team that I've seen that I feel really could compete with Glenbard West. Their offense just generates open looks and, quite frankly, doesn't miss them. Oh, wow.
There.
Big baby gets on the ground, and now it's an open look, and it's in. And all of a sudden, momentum has shifted. That shot's good from Joe Pender. And I'll tell you, whoever walks away with the win in this one, I've got going far in my bracket, because these two teams are the two best teams that I've witnessed so far, other than the Hilltoppers.
Both these teams playing really well. One thing that, you know, the 3 F's of offensive basketball that I've really noticed about this team, great job there by Miles Beecham to smack away the rebound from the big baby. But as I was saying, just 3-pointer missed. There we go, rebound. But
good rebound from Amarion Johnson. All I
point.
have to say before you do finish is that he is a great extra piece next to the big baby Tony Webb. When you have two guys at that kind of height, it's near impossible to guard, and they're heating up for 3. Nick Harrell knocks it down. The lead's down to 3, and Josh, you can continue.
To finally finish the point, it's that this Tinley Park team, they have, now I forget my point, obviously. As soon as I want to say it, I forget the point.
Well, I'll make a point for you. Tony Webb, the big baby, and Amarion Johnson down there are unstoppable. They've played the entirety of this game from end to end of the hardwood. We're down to 1:20 to go, and these two have been unstoppable. Now Lamont on the odd man rush, foul, and 1. Count the bucket. He does the little flick. He has an offer from Illinois. That's Nojas Indrasatis.
Attempt here, only a sophomore. Hopefully Lamont gets invited back the next 2 years.
Oh, they will.
I would be super excited to see this kid grow, as he's 6'4". If he can get a bit bigger and play like a big versatile wing, that's going to be impressive.
I mean, he reminds me of the build of a guy like Max Christie. He could shoot. He could do it from the inside, and look at that. It's Amarion Johnson. He can do it all as well. Really just a bit taller than Nojas Indrasatis, and he can do it all as well. Of course, he's a senior, however, and that's probably where the offers come in when a guy like Nojas Indrasatis is doing something similar to a guy like Amarion Johnson, just 2 years younger. Johnson with the rebound. Tinley Park will go the other way. These two teams have played nearly flawless basketball to this point. The big baby wanted the 3, didn't shoot it. Now he does. Tony Webb off the mark.
Great offensive rebound there. Find inside. Great steal. Foul.
You know, that was a good offensive rebound, but why rush it? You just made a good play to get the ball on your offensive end, keep it over there, but then you rush and you force a pass that's unnecessary, and now, barring how Lamont likes to attack these situations, they may have the last shot of the half.
32 seconds remaining here in the second quarter in the first half. I remembered my point earlier. This Lamont team is a great passing team. All of them are able to pass to each other and creates wicked off-ball movement and creates all these great baskets. Great seal-off dribble here by one of the Castillo brothers.
Now it's Rosas Castillo with it. He's more of the shooter. His brother Matt, more of the passer from what we've seen this game. And you'll see a timeout called with exactly 10 seconds to go. That timeout called directly by head coach of Lamont, Rick Runasas. That will be called in order to draw up a play here. Already up by 4. Getting any more momentum, any more of a lead going into half would be huge for Lamont, but we'll see what happens. York Sports Network, your place for all York sports. We'll be right back after this timeout break. And we are back. We'll see what head coach Runasas drew up at the break. Under 8 seconds to play now. Trying to get it to the wing. Can't do so. Just going to force it in himself. Really hard to do that by Tony Webb, but he gets the look up, and it's off the mark. Rosas Castillo doesn't miss that one too often, but that was an off-platform, off-script play. Not necessarily what was expected there after a designed timeout. But regardless, Lamont will go into halftime on top of the Tinley Park Titans. 37-33. York Sports Network, your place for all York sports. AJ Switek, Joshua Melvin. We'll be right back after this break.
LaMichael Piron.
And we are back covering Lamont versus the Tinley Park Titans. Lamont currently holds the lead 37-33. This is the home team on the scoreboard, but of course this entire tournament is hosted at York. These games being played in the South Gym. So far it's been a tale of two completely different offenses. Lamont led by the two brothers, Matt and Rolsas Castillo, as well as the future D1 commit, No Juice Indrasitis. Really just a firepower team that loves to shoot the three ball. And as for the Tinley Park Titans, it's been a two-man show of Amarion Johnson and Tony Webb, also known as Big Baby, drawing comparisons to the play style of Glenn Davis. The two big men down there have been dominant on the offensive and defensive glass. They have combined for likely nearly double-digit blocks at this point. They've made it really hard for Lamont to get anything going in the paint. And Josh, I know that you're raring to go as well. You have some notes from halftime. This has likely been the best game that we've seen of the Jack Tosh so far. So I'd like to hear anything that you have, any takeaways you have thus far.
Well, it's going to be hard to top that Conant versus St. Ignatius game with the buzzer beater, but we'll see if it stays this close. But Lamont was able to pull away. Hence the paint defense. They had to shoot threes to do that, and they've really been lights out from three as this team moves on. But if you're talking about a two-man game, just look at the scoreboard here for Lamont, as in number 2, that's Rosas Castillo with 14 points, and Indrasitis with 19, combining for 33 of the 37 points, and 2 of the 4 points are on the floor right now, and that goes to number 12. That is Beecham of Lamont, is one of the only 2 other players to score for this Lamont team. So if you're Tinley Park, you're really trying to shut down Indrasitis and the number 2 Castillo brother.
And in comes the inbound, and that's not to discredit Matt Castillo whatsoever. He definitely is in the double digits department of assists this far. He's currently the one ball carrying, and he has done a great job passing off. Early foul. Tinley Park's excited. It will be a moving screen foul against number 12 of Lamont, Miles Beecham.
Definitely the Matt Castillo, no discredit at all. Been a great passer, just like this whole Lamont team, but he's been the most stellar out of all of them.
And going the other way now is Tinley Park. Big Baby wants it inside, lofted too high for him. Not something you see too often, but that pass well off the mark from Nick Havel. Rolsas gives it up. He's really good at those no-look passes. Gets it to his brother, and he got it. Rolsas Castillo really doesn't miss those. He doesn't really miss anything. He's already up to 16 on the game. And as you mentioned, quite the three-man show as him and Indrasitis have now combined for 35 of Lamont's 39 points.
Looking for the cut here on Amarion Johnson. Give it to Big Baby at the top. That's another thing, is that he's been a pretty decent playmaker from the post today. He's been really good all over the floor. They play him outside, they play him inside. Don't let the big frame deceive you. He can move. Indrasitis is quite the great ball handler for his size and age. Really good, has a deep bag, and really able to do anything he wants with the basketball. Yeah, that deep bag of tricks, something we talked about at halftime. He just can do it all. Tony, the Big Baby Webb, really has impressed so far. But as for Lamont, this entire team has impressed, and especially just Indrasitis, the future Division I player. He's out on the floor right now. That's number 23. Give back to Matt. Gives it to the Division. Oh my goodness. That's one of the cleanest swishes the South Gym has ever seen. Indrasitis is automatic, and really, I've got to say, Illinois seems like they're early in this recruiting, because he will be getting more offers. Oh, definitely. With a shot as beautiful as that, oh my goodness. If you can knock it down from anywhere on the floor, you're going to be valuable. Oh, and that one's just off the mark. Looked like they were going to have an answer, but now it's all of a sudden Lamont up by 9, looking to pull away in this one out of halftime. Giving it back to Indrasitis. He goes up against the Big Baby, but you don't do that. The block from behind. Amarion Johnson swats it away. It will stay with Lamont, but momentum certainly shifting here. Definitely. But once again, remember, Lamont at one point was like up 14 or 15 points, and then it got cut all the way down. So this Tinley Park team just needs to hit a couple threes, and they're back within reach. There's another three here.
And that's what Malachi Haythorne was so good at. He made so many consecutive threes, and that's a fast break point off the hands of Nick Harrell. He's up to 9. This Tinley Park team has done a really good job spreading the scoring. You never know who's going to come away with the points on the offensive end.
And it looks like Tinley Park, I mentioned before that they were dropping off of screens. Oh, does a drop there.
Oh my goodness, this team can't miss. I know we mentioned Indricitis with the offer, but I'd be surprised if Rosas Castillo doesn't have one at this point. He is automatic as well.
And he is still young too. He is also a junior, so this team's going to come back. So is his brother.
I have never been so jealous of you to be a junior. You're going to be able to see this team again next year in the Jack Tosh, and I think it's almost impossible to deny the fact that they are most certainly the early favorite.
And I just noticed that next year, this entire roster, not a single senior starting for them, as the Castillo brothers are juniors, Beecham is a junior, and then of course Indricitis is a sophomore, and then Joe Pender is also a junior. That's going to be so much fun for me next year. Let's go. Going to see all these guys back here. Going to be an even better team. Might be competing for top 10 team in the state.
So I guess that means we
game.
can clarify now. It's not the Castillo brothers, it's the Castillo twins. Both of which juniors. Twin duos even that much more rare than brotherly duos, which you see that just that often in the Jack Tosh, and that's Rosas Castillo trying to outscore his teammate Indricitis. He's up to 19 on the outing now.
Great job there by Rosas Castillos. I mean, like Johnson had that, his long arm in his face. He was able to double clutch and hesitate until there was an opening for him to make it, and he did. He dropped that down.
Now the good outside pass, that's Keon Richardson. Giving back to Nick Harrell. The Titans in desperate need of some points here. Whistle before the shot.
Foul on the floor, it looks like.
It's like the refs making a call there to send Matt Castillo to the bench. Not too sure exactly what they're checking out. I think it might be blood on the jersey, which you are not allowed to play with.
A little weird stoppage. Don't see that all too often.
Yes, now an official's timeout is called. Stopping play, something going on with Matt Castillo. Hopefully all is well. He doesn't look to be injured or such, but is getting attention on the sideline. We'll see what it is, but regardless, the Tinley Park Titans will come back following this break in a much-needed way. Now all of a sudden trailing by 12. We've seen them come back from wide margins in this game, but if they want to win, they're going to have to make this comeback a lot quicker.
And I really hope they do, because these have been two of the most fun teams I've seen, and any team that loses here is really going to be a fighter for the championship and the compensatory.
Absolutely,
bracket.
and that consolation bracket, it'll be extremely interesting, regardless of which team goes down there. I mean, right now, the quote-unquote powerhouse of that bracket looks to be St. Ignatius, but that's what happens before teams like this get sent down there, because I'll tell you, if you have to face someone like Tony Webb, the big baby, in that bracket, I just can't think of anybody on any team that could match up with him.
Well, I actually think the team that you mentioned could. If any team could,
it would be them.
St. Ignatius, as you either put Barron, who's 6'6", or Giles, who's 6'7". Same height, a little smaller, a little less weight, not as strong as Tony Webb is here, but it's still going to be super, super interesting if those two face each other.
The only major difference for me is, as you mentioned, you could put Barron on Webb and Giles on Johnson. Those kind of cancel out, but for me, these Tinley Park guards have been so much more impressive. Malachi Haythorne, Nick Harrell, both of which nearing double digits. They've done a really good job getting points on the board for their team, whereas St. Ignatius, most of their scoring comes from inside.
And, you know, looking at these teams now and thinking about it, is that possibly the reason why neither of these teams are really ranked in the top 25 in the state is because neither of them have really brought in any bench players. You know, maybe their benches just are not as deep as we think, and their starters are really what carry the show. And, you know, maybe one is matching the energy of the other. We shall see throughout the tournament as these teams continue to play.
And luckily for Lamont,
wins.
One of the twins, Matt Castillo, back out there, the one who is in question, and he'll be the one to get the defensive board, giving it to his brother Rosas. Rosas for three. Rosas Castillo is cash. He's up to 24 on the day. Gets them up to 50, and now it is a 15-point lead for Lamont. That deep three off the mark. Rebound goes to Indricitis. Back to Rosas Castillo. Oh, that would have been a dagger.
That would have really been a momentum killer for Tinley Park, but instead it's a heat check for this Lemont team, as Tinley Park really needs to slow it down. I think they should give it more to Big Baby in the middle, as they really have no one who can match up with the size and power. As lost ball there, nope, the ball went out. Did look like it. Joe Pender not be able to get there in time, but I think you should try and give it to Big Baby down low and get him more buckets and more back to the basket opportunities.
I mean, clearly the head coach of Tinley Park, I don't have his name on the roster right in front of me, Josh, you could find that for me, but
DJ Brown.
DJ Brown clearly very, very confident in the Big Baby's ability to play make from outside, but I want to see him back in. I want to see him do just that, as the Big Baby just misses, but guess who doesn't? Omarion Johnson's right there to finish.
They push the effort forwards. Oh, almost a block by Omarion Johnson, but great play there by Rosas. But 26 on the evening. Oh my goodness, he is really putting up numbers
Feels
here.
like he absolutely can't have anything not go his way. It was like Omarion Johnson was an inch from that block, but he's just been everywhere, as that tip ball by Indricitis will stay with Tinley Park.
Oh my goodness. And then a bench player who did come in, Patrick Gardner, came in and tried to take the charge from the Big Baby, but I mean, if he's just slowly backing you down and you're looking for the charge, you got to kind of size up at least a little bit to him. Great save there by Rosas. Oh my goodness. A steal there by Tony Webb. Great job there. 2 players down.
The Big Baby is a defensive force. We'll see if they can take advantage, and they do. Going to the line will be Keon Richardson.
That's going to be the second foul on Indricitis there. Nowhere really near foul trouble, but you don't want that player getting multiple fouls.
Interestingly enough, for Tinley Park, every single player in the game right now has exactly 1 foul, and that's for Lamont. 3 of their players have 2 fouls, while the other 2 have 1. And I'll tell you, this is when the winners bracket games started. This is the start of the winners bracket games. Me and Josh have been on the call for all of the consolation games this morning, and the theme was that the teams really didn't foul. So I have to say that I feel like the aggressiveness in this winners bracket much higher. These teams know there's more at stake, and they've really been playing much harder right now.
Surprised there's not a foul there, as, oh my goodness, a little tussle up between Omarion Johnson and Patrick Gardner.
The 2 24s tripping each other, but Indricitis, unfazed by it, gets it to Rosas Castillo, and he's now up to 28 points. This is an unreal showing. Big Baby, oh my goodness, tries to slam it down. That would have been one of the most arrogant slams I've ever seen, but now he's just getting his own rebound. Oh my goodness, Tony Webb, the Big Baby, fights through it. He'll go to the line for the 3-point play. Got his own offensive rebound at least 3 times there, and he'll go to the line to try to finish the 3-point play. To Castillo, the twin connection. Can we see Matt Castillo first points?
My goodness.
He went to the floor with a hard thud. That was a hard-earned first 2 points there. Or will he? Looks like that was called on the floor, Josh.
Wow.
That foul on Big Baby called on the floor.
Also, while we're still not live, I just learned how to fix Link Studio, so we're good. It crashed again. Oh, we are back. Welcome back. New score. 49 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. 56 in favor of Lamont, 42 in favor of Tinley Park. Apologies again, as we are using a little bit of a spotty streaming service.
And that is Matt Castillo, the secondary option of the Castillo twins in this one, completing the 3-point play. Those are his first 3 points of the outing. And the steal going the other way. Joe Pender, that's as easy as they come. He rises up. No one was there to get back on defense. And by no one, I mean the 2 bigs, Tony Webb and Omarion Johnson, staying on the offensive end. That's easy points, and the lead's back up to 17, excuse me.
Tony Webb with the 3.
Oh my goodness, Tony Webb, the Big Baby, gets himself into the double digits. He can do it all. 3 seconds left now. Matt Castillo inside. Great feed. Great finish. That shot good from Nick Hawkins, his first 2 points on the game.
End of the third quarter here. Apologies for the little outage on our part, as what happened there is Lamont continued to just kind of pull away, hit any three that they had. You know, I don't know why Tinley Park is continuing to drop on these pick and rolls. They try and go under and play drop coverage. You know, I mean, it's going to be tough with someone like Tony Webb, because of his size and strength, does not have the greatest lateral quickness in the world. So it's going to be tough to do a, you know, double up and try and trap on top of the screen. But you really got to change your effort as you are down 16 going into the fourth quarter. And oh my goodness, is this an exciting game, as Lamont here could pass the total points scored in the last game we called, as they could pass it here with 61 going into the fourth. Probably going to try and push
such a high-powered offense, Joshua. It is unreal.
I mean, we got to see about the consistency of this offense, just because they've really been hitting everything from three. Now, not saying they're just going to immediately drop and not hit any threes the next game, but it's going to be tough. They've been playing great, but the reason why they're up by so much is they're probably shooting 80-85% from three-point range today. As we come back after the fourth quarter, no team really near the bonus here. We'll see how the aggression changes that throughout the end of the fourth quarter. Once again, as a new player checks in, number 22, also listed as center, also a junior, Nick Hawkins for Lamont.
Man, this team is so young. It's unreal that they are this good without any seniors touching the floor thus far.
They only have 2 seniors on their roster. Number 11,
that three is off the mark.
Bartello.
Oh, but a great effort on the offensive end. Excuse me, that was just a great steal. The ball was thrown out of bounds, and that's not something you could afford trailing by 16 late into this one.
And then, as I was saying, so Brock DiBartello and then Jackson Crisper are the only seniors listed on the entire Lamont roster. This team is extremely young.
And that look off the mark. Rebound goes to Matt Castillo, though, on the really aggressive recovery. Castillo being double teamed. Tinley Park forces the jump ball, but it will stay with Lamont.
And the Tinley Park players look gassed. They are all very tired. They've been out here the whole time. Tinley Park has not subbed in a single bench player here today, as that really hasn't worked out, as they are still down by 16, possibly more here on this possession, but we shall see. Great defense there. Going to get the fast break to cut the lead, and does.
Great job finishing with his body there. Put his body in the way of Nogus Indrasitis, who was trying to chase him down and get a potential block, but he wasn't afraid. Went up with all of his weight, and the big baby getting in the way of a pass. That kid can move, man. Tony Webb is an athlete.
Can move for his size. That's what I was saying earlier. Not the best lateral quickness, but that's not, a knock at all. This man is an extremely great athlete.
Now that's Matt Castillo. He's been a major part of this offense for the entirety of the game, but especially in that third quarter. We saw his only 3 points come there, and he's just so great at facilitating this offense as a passer. Now going the other way is Tinley Park. They need to up the pressure and do so.
Little quick try there, but granted it was a fast break. Went up in 3-person traffic.
Looks like someone lost their mask on the floor. That's number 4 on Lamont, Joe Pender. His mask on the floor, the whistle blown. He's able to go pick it up. Rosas Castillo with it, giving it to his twin, Matt.
Trapping defense here in the corner of the
twin duo, just passing it around until Indrasitis is open, and he'll be fouled. And one finish. He'll go to the line to make it a 3-point play.
.16-point lead still here, 6 minutes and 26 remaining. Indrasitis trying to make it a 17-point lead, converting an and one opportunity. He does not. Rebound Tony Webb, foul here.
that foul comes against Matt Castillo. Now his third foul on the night. We'll see if they opt to keep him in. It looks like they will.
As they bring back Beecham as they go with their starting lineup again. All starters still on the floor here for Tinley Park.
This Tinley Park team is so shifty. We have to give more credit to Malachi Haythorne. He has done a really good job working through this press, really seeming unfazed by the pressure. And although the bigs get all the attention, as they rightfully deserve, and the big baby throws down a shot like that, but this entire team is star-studded.
Definitely, this team is big, long, and athletic. As they are, all their players are, you have the two smaller guys. In number 2, that's Keon Richardson and Malachi Haythorne. They aren't necessarily, they are on the smaller end at 6 foot and 5'11", but they are very shifty and able to get their hands in the way of passing lanes still.
Both of these teams so good at maintaining possession. I mean, just such a breath of fresh air after the last game we watched and were able to commentate. These teams so good at controlling the ball, possessing it.
Foot.
And as I say that, there's a very rare turnover from Rosas Castillo.
A very rare turnover by Lamont as a whole. Great job there. And then the athleticism both teams have really been showing is the shiftiness of Lamont has also been on display as they've been able to fake Tinley Park into baiting into a bunch of three-based cuts as they fake out to the three-point line and then cut into the back door. That's happened a lot this second quarter as it's a 13-point lead with 5:54 remaining in this game.
Absolutely. Tinley Park head coach DJ Brown charged with the 30-second timeout. And after these short 30 seconds, we will be right back with the York Sports Network coverage of the Jack Tosh tournament. And we are back. Tinley Park successfully gets the inbound in, and they are pushing the pace. Down by 13. They need to get some stuff to go here. No.
Got the rebound to Marion Johnson. Fakes the pass. Big baby pump fakes. Drives into the lane. We're going to call a foul here.
And that's a risky,
to be defensive.
It will, and that's a risky charge to try to draw. That is a big guy in Tony Webb going in the paint. He'll go to the line and shoot 2, and this is a huge moment for him as they really need both these free throws.
Definitely. You're trying to get this back by probably the 4-minute mark. You want to at least within 10 if you're Tinley Park. Splash there. Really fun game as 2 players on Lamont are right now on 50 watch as Rosas Castillo has 28 and Idrisitis has 29.
So I assume you mean 30 watch, not 50 watch.
Did I say 50 watch?
You did.
I meant 30 watch. They combined for over 50. They are on 80 watch, possibly 70 watch for combined score. As Tinley Park brings out the press. Gonna try and trap.
Gets it inside. Pressure from Amarion Johnson. Looks like he'll force the steal,
oh,
but it's recovered by Idrisitis.
Great job there. Gonna check the 3. No good. Oh, wow.
But offensive rebound goes right to Gavin Kelby. He won't get much easier looks than that. That one is good, and the lead's back to 13. Big Baby gets it to the outside. The facilitating pass, too hard. Amarion Johnson puts it up, can't get it in.
Foul? Oh, not an and one.
But a foul will send Nick Harrell to the line. This Tinley Park team so good at second chance looks. When you have 2 guys that big, they get a lot of offensive boards and a lot of second chance efforts. first one is good. Both these teams have just been overall lights out. This is the highest scoring game that I've been in attendance for thus far in the tournament.
I think this is the highest scoring game of the tournament. Don't know, haven't been here for every game. Both shots are made. Down to an 11-point lead again, just past the 5-minute mark. What do you think Tinley Park really needs to do to get this lead within 10 and probably down to 5 with 3 minutes remaining?
You know what, Josh? The offense is there. The team is scoring, and they're scoring well. What I'm worried about is how are they going to stop this Lamont offense? Because there's a reason it's the highest scoring game. These are two high firepower offenses. So if I'm Tinley Park and I'm head coach DJ Brown at this timeout, it's absolutely vital that they make adjustments on the defensive end to get the ball out of Rosas Castillo and Nojas Indrositis' hands.
Definitely. I mean, those two players have been consistently killing you. And the unfortunate thing is that when the other players have had opportunities, which is quite rare, honestly, if you look at the board right now that is on your screen, no one has gotten more than one bucket. Who else is on the floor outside of those two that we've been mentioning a lot today? So if I'm Tinley Park, I'm trapping, seeing if force the other guys to really make plays. And then, like I've said the entire game, what are you doing, DJ? You know, I don't want to be mean to DJ Brown, but like honestly, you've been doing drop coverage the entire time and going under screens, and they've just hit every single three. So it's like, I know you can be like, oh, there was nothing we can do. They're hitting every three, but you can at least put more contests on them. Put Amari on the perimeter, get him out of the paint, get Tony Webb in the paint, put Amari on like a box and one. He follows the ball and just gets those long arms in the face of every single shooter. There's got to be something else different, because you should not be giving up 65 points this fast, as they only scored 4 points. Good defense this quarter, though, because they've only scored 4 points in this fourth quarter, where they've scored 20 plus, around 20 every single one.
Coach is listening, and I like your idea of getting Amarion Johnson involved in the perimeter, doing a little Glenbard West style thing. Now he goes back inside the paint as Big Baby gets to the outside. But you just need some length on the perimeter. You need something to force a contest on these threes, as that's Tony Webb's third foul. The inbound will come from the man with the Illinois offer, Indrositis.
Throws it way into the backcourt for Matt, as Tinley Park is now in the bonus. So important for Lamont not to foul him and give him free points down the stretch to cut this lead.
For Tinley Park, you don't want to play sloppy, but you do need to up the aggression, because as the aggression was upped in a sloppy way there, you do need to force turnovers. With this little amount of time left, you need the ball in your hands.
Definitely, and you have a couple of fouls to give. At this point, you probably don't. Oh, they are in the bonus. It looks like 6 fouls is the bonus. So both teams are now in the bonus here as they throw it back, and Amarion Johnson here on the perimeter, as I was saying, would really help them. So he comes right back to the paint here. Indrositis with the ball.
Indrositis going to work. Gets it to Matt Castillo. Castillo to the corner. They're passing up on open looks now. No need to push the pace. Castillo inside, trying to go to work against the Big Baby Tony Webb. Able to do so.
This is probably the exact scenario that the IHSA is looking at, as they pass it up to Nick Harrell, going to slow down the pace.
Oh, wow. Wanted the charge, didn't get it, and all of a sudden this is a single-digit lead with 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Really good effort. No quit in this Tinley Park Titans team. They've came all the way back.
And they're looking at this type of game where you have two really good teams, but then Lamont can just do this and dribble out the ball. What a move there by Indrositis. He throws it too hard off the backboard. You need to get that rebound. Tinley Park does, as they're trying to get the foul here. Oh, a little scruff, a little talking.
There was some aggression in that rip of the ball away. There has been talking back and forth. Both these teams, high firepower offenses. And now with the bonus, with that foul, he will go to the line to shoot 2. Or 1-1, excuse me.
1-1, AJ. That's how the bonus works. But as I was saying, the IHSA is looking at a scenario like this where you have two great teams, and Lamont could just kind of dribble out the clock and run away from Tinley Park, and they're going to have to start fouling with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, and that's going to create kind of a boring end to this game, unless, of course, Tinley Park can come back, and we hope they do, because we want this game to be real close. Possibly an overtime would be fun, but
what DJ Brown needs to do here is he needs to create a defensive situation for this team that makes it so Lamont is turning the ball over, because exactly what you said is what they can't let happen. If they just let him nillygag and throw the ball around the perimeter and run time off the clock, this game will end with a Lamont win in a pretty easy fashion. But if Tinley Park can up the pressure, they can force a few turnovers down the stretch, which is much easier said than done against a team led by the Castillo twins. This could be a really interesting game down the stretch.
Definitely. And here's the thing with that is that, you know, this is what they're going to be looking at to bring in a shot clock. So then you don't have games like this. You have a shot clock, you have a limit to these offenses, so then you give a little bit more effort to, you know, a little help to these defenses and create some urgency with offenses. I've heard that they're looking at bringing in the shot clock. We'll see how that ends out next year. Fortunately, AJ will be off at college, and I'll be having the one to deal with those kind of play-by-plays.
The only downside with the shot clock, from what I understand, I've actually spoken to people within IHSA, they have nothing against the shot clock. It's nothing about some history, anything like that. It's about being able to make sure that every school can fit it in their budget, because a running shot clock that's often reset, you're going to have to pay somebody to reset the clock. It's not going to be automatic. And that kind of clock is no cheap task to be able to add to every scoreboard across Illinois.
Definitely. And also, since they built all these scoreboards, for example, the Dick Campbell Gym has an amazing scoreboard that does not have a
free throws
score.
off the mark.
So we are looking for a closer game here. Good defense here by Richardson, Keon Richardson. Once again, just running out time. Idrisitis looking for an opportunity to drive. Not really pressuring, but it's hard against Idrisitis, who has such a deep bag, where as soon as you try and take advantage of him having the ball on his left, quick jump right over, quick crossover between the legs right over, and then immediate step, and that athleticism that he possesses, the quick first step, and he's gone. And if you commit too hard to the drive, boom, step back, you're falling on your face, and you'll look silly as he's draining a three over you.
Idrisitis with the rare miss, both teams missing on both ends on the free throw, leaves the window open for the Titans. Good indoor pass, really hard finish, just off the mark. Tight rebound, foul called. The big baby isn't happy with it. Looks like the foul will come against his teammate, number 4, Malachi Haythorne. That's his third, team's 8th.
Staying here at a 9-point deficit at the 3-minute mark here. Looks like they're stopping the game again for Matt Castillo. Looks like they're just going to take him out of the game at this point. Looks like possibly a cut on his fingers. He's showing the trainer his finger. In comes number 3. That is Gavin Kelby coming in for the
He's really one of the only depth pieces this Lamont team has used, but that shot is off the mark from Joe Pender, and yet again the Titans have an opportunity to score. Driving in on Idrisitis, fouled on the way up. Looked clean, wasn't. Nick Harrell will go to the line and shoot 2.
Try and make it a 3-possession game here, or an easier 3-possession game here, with it making it 7 points if he can hit both those shots, because that was a shooting foul, so he'll get 2 no matter what, not a 1-1.
Correct.
Because that's how shooting fouls work.
Thank you. First
Teaching AJ the
is
rules
in.
of basketball.
Beautiful swish.
Great job there by Nick Harrell to convert the first one. Can he do it again?
Oh,
yes.
Shooters roll. It's down to 7. 2:43 to go. This is anyone's game, as all momentum is in the Titans' corner.
They're going to try and trap here Idrisitis in the backcourt. Get aggressive with him. Foul here on Harrell, it looks like. He's not happy about the call. That's going to be his third
now
foul.
3 players on this Tinley Park squad, up to 3 fouls. They've kept the same lineup in all game. They have 4 players in double digits, being Malachi Haythorne, Nick Harrell, Tony Webb, a.k.a. the Big Baby, and Amarion Johnson. As that one's off the mark as well. Rebound goes
what
to
a rebound.
Indricitis, though. Huge rebound.
You got to get that if you're Tony Webb. That's going to be unfortunate. What? Oh, tries to attempt the ridiculous finish.
Tried to do too much there, and here come the Titans going the other way. Good last second give. Looks like a foul call.
Making sure Malachi Haythorne is all good. He is.
And that foul comes on Joe Pender of Lamont. And guess who's going to the line again? Nick Harrell will shoot 2 more. Harrell, one of the 4 players with double digits. He's actually the leading scorer for the Tinley Park Titans in this one. He has 15, and if he can get both these to go, he can get it down to a 5-point game.
And that'll be a 2-possession game.
Number 5 gets the first one.
Gets the first one. It is now a 2-possession game as there's tape on the hands of Matt Carroll. Looks like that's
Matt
where
Castillo,
he was.
rather.
Castillo,
but right when it looked like they were going to be able to take him out, this game could be over. They put what looks to be a tape fixture on both of his hands, so not fully aware of what's happening there. The refs have stopped play twice for him now, so he had to get it figured out. Now a huge free throw, getting it down to 5 points would be absolutely massive for the Titans. He can't do it. Rebound goes to Lamont.
2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Oh, foul here. He is not happy. Ball comes right in front of us.
In case you're just
Richardson is
tuning
not
in,
happy.
Tinley Park trailing 65-59. Might just seem like your typical 6-point deficit, but it is not. There was a point in this game where Lamont where Lamont led
17
by
points.
as much as 17 points, and that one's off the mark.
But as you can see, it is 10 fouls for both teams. Therefore, the bonus plus 2 shots, no matter what, going down the way, going the rest of the way. Only one offensive rebounder
misses
here.
them both. The arguably best shooter on the floor misses both free throws, and now down by just 6 come the Titans. Big baby Tony Webb gives it up. This is the biggest possession of the game. Tony Webb wants the 3, opts otherwise, gets inside, no
misses
call,
the lay-in,
and
no
misses the
call.
lay-in.
Indricitis
on the contest there. I'll pretend you didn't just say that.
Not okay.
Not okay, and now it's Matt Castillo giving up to Rosas Castillo. Timeout called. Looked like he was about to step out of bounds. Timeout called by the Lamont head coach, Rick Runas. In case you're just joining us, Tinley Park Titans trailing by 6 with 1:41 to go. Both teams have really had their opportunities here at the end of the game, and what seemed like a game where teams couldn't miss. Misses have started to happen. We'll have to see what happens down the stretch following this timeout. York Sports Network, AJ Swiatek, Josh Melvin. We apologize for that borderline profane language from him for any family listeners, but we will be right back following this timeout.
Coming back from the timeout, AJ and I were just talking about Tinley Park really needed to convert on that offense possession because you can't trust Lamont to get
not too often that this Lamont team misses 2 free throws. Oh, that's a clean steal from the big baby, and it leads to an offensive possession the other way. Yet again, rushing it too much. The big baby got in there, got a hand in there, and had a very clean steal, but they tried to do too much on the offensive end, and now it's Lamont maintaining possession. Matt Castillo. They're playing a triple team press. That almost looked like a push, and it is.
The charge. Great call there. Keon Richardson tough to get up as it looks like he got hurt in the face. As on comes, that is a foul out for Matt. Matt Castillo is followed out.
The playmaker for this squad goes to the bench. Matt Castillo That is big. He is frustrated with himself, and rightfully so. And now with a minute 14 to go, the Tinley Park Titans have a chance to get this down to a one-possession game. Oh my Lanta.
Going skip pass to skip pass inside. Great passing here from this Tinley Park team. Really need to convert here, as you're rarely going to get more opportunities like this.
It's a team that's generally very careful with the basketball. They get
Three
the
here.
open shooter. Oh, hits
no.
the iron twice, but misses. Going the other way with Lamont. Oh my goodness. That shot from Keon Richardson hit the rim twice. Looked like it could have gone, but now all of a sudden Lamont is absolutely in the driver's seat and pushing full throttle with a chance to pull away.
I don't know many teams that have ever choked while losing, and I think I may have just witnessed one here, as they have come out empty on 3 straight sloppy possessions by Lemont. As Lemont pushes it, Rocas with it, 40 seconds remaining in the game.
Oh.
They're finally going to foul.
Rosas hits the floor hard on the foul from Tony Webb.
Tony Webb, that's his 4th foul, 1 more, and he is out of the game.
Rosas Castillo will go to the line. Obviously, no seniority on this squad for Lamont, so not really specifically anyone you need to foul, but we'll see if he's still able to get him to go, as he came up empty on his last trip with 2 shots. Won't happen again. Gets the first one. Gets the lead back up to 2 possessions, more importantly. This one would put Rosas Castillo up to a 30-point outing. And it does. He gets them both. 8-point
lead here for Lemont.
Tony Webb complaining to the referees. Regardless, as you mentioned, Tinley Park forced 3 straight scoreless Lemont possessions, and every time they came up scoreless themselves. They had the opportunities, but now trailing by 8 will need a miracle. York Sports Network, your place for all York sports. We'll be right back with Jack Tosh coverage after this timeout break. And we are back. Tinley Park in need of a miracle here. This team has put up a fight, but we'll see if it has any chance to be enough. And that is a
Lemont thought a travel
heroic
there.
finish. They wanted to travel, didn't get it. There's a lot of noise in this gym. It goes back to a 2-possession game with 25.3 seconds to go. Timeout called. That was a quick little break and a quick little return. We will be back yet again with Jack Tosh coverage after this timeout break.
We are back. So it looks like the next game, if you want to stick around with AJ and I, the next game is going to be St. Patrick versus Batavia after this
The fun
thriller.
ones will be back. Here we go, though, to the matter at hand. 25.8 seconds remaining. Lamont on top by 6. Tinley Park in need of forcing a turnover. Get it into Rosas Castillo, who is fouled by number 2, Keon Richardson. That's Richardson's 4th foul. Almost the entirety of this Tinley Park team now in foul trouble. That's what happens when you don't really check in your subs for the entirety of the game.
And this next game, real quick, will be a consolation bracket game because St. Patrick lost to Glenbard West and Batavia lost to Leo.
And that one is good. That light cleat ices the game. It's up to a 3-possession game with 23 seconds to go.
So Big Baby comes back in. They finally put a bench player out there. It was number 15. First bench player to touch. That's Kendrick Berry, junior forward for Tinley Park. 69 to 61 with 23.6 seconds remaining. They're gonna have to get a quick bucket here.
And I would say if they wanted some form of miracle, they could whip out the press, but the press has been whipped out and it has not been working. No recovery from Tony Webb. Big guys on the floor, and that will end the game. Lamont will walk away with the win. No, Tinley Park still wants to foul. Down by 8 with 10 seconds left.
Tony Webb getting a little aggressive there with Rocas Castillo, getting a little, physical with him, trying to toss him around. But you know who's been tossing them around? Castillo. He's about to go for 34 if he makes both of these. At minimum, 32-point outing for him.
I don't have a Jack Tosh record book on hand, but that's got to be one of the higher scoring outings we've ever seen in this tournament.
Well, we do. If I flip to it, if I remember properly, it's a 54-point game would be the record. So nowhere near, really.
Hold on.
54 points put up as they're just going to roll it in.
He will finish with 33 points on the night. 7 seconds left.
Tinley
Park
Park
getting their last looks in the winner's bracket. They will move down to the consolation ladder, and we'll see who can match up with this team down then. It is game over. Lamont wins 70 to 61 against the Tinley Park Titans. This was a great matchup of high-powered offense. Just that is what the Jack Tosh tournament is all about. AJ Switek, Joshua Melvin on the call. York Sports Network, your place for all York sports and Jack Tosh coverage. We'll be back with another live stream of the next game in this tournament, in this gym. We will be back. Thank you for tuning in.